Hello there and welcome. This is Mikhail or Michael speaking. As always, first I want to say thank you all who decided to support me financially, be it through Patreon, PayPal, or Super Thanks. Your help is much appreciated. Thank you and have a good day. Well, first of all, despite all the difficulties, Wagnerites continue to advance within Bakhmut and so-called Citadel area or Nest sector here. First, they were able to advance and capture this territory, as well as they successfully advanced towards Livanovskovo Street here and captured this territory as well. Like some people stated, this is probably an attempt to advance within this street and this street right here and basically cut off and capture this entire sector. Russians in the north had also advanced. Here near Olympic School they have captured about this much territory, advancing further on and reaching, as some people said, final defensive line of Ukrainian forces. There is a video for you of a Russian artillery strike somewhere within this area. So as you can see, heavy fighting is happening within the sector as well as here to the north of it, but the situation on the flanks is quickly deteriorating for the Russian forces. First, we will touch south part. Here, Ukrainians had launched simultaneous reconnaissance by force attacks towards Klishivka from Ivanivsky and Stupachki. The result of those attacks is still unclear. The fog of war in this area is very thick, but overall, as a result of those attacks, Ukrainians had pushed Russians away from T-0504 highway, basically undermining Russian success that happened here a few months ago. Then we have situation here to the north of Bakhmut, where it is much more difficult for Russian forces. As a result of continuous Ukrainian attacks, Russians were forced to leave this much territory to Ukrainian forces, so they have retreated from Bogdanivka and from 00506 highway. It has also been reported that they have lost significant amount of land near Grigorivka and Orekhovo-Vasilivka. Some even report that Orekhovo-Vasilivka is being completely liberated by Ukrainian forces, and Russians are retreating further back. Ukrainians are not stopping and continue attack towards Yehidne and Berehivka. The dangers of those attacks is basically because Russians are losing high ground. So here, as you can see, Bakhmut right here, and basically by retreating Russians are losing this high ground here and this high ground here. If that were to happen, Ukrainian will establish fire control over Bakhmut, and this could become dangerous pretty quickly, as then they can launch their attacks around Bakhmut and to its flank and rear. So as you can see, if those Ukrainian operations will succeed, perhaps Bakhmut will be deplocated. And this is the second part of my video where I will where I will give you my theory on what is going on. First of all, the situation on the flanks is a big mistake by Russian command or treason, because in order for Bakhmut to be fully taken, flanks, especially here, were supposed to be secured. If you remember, maybe a month or two ago, Prigozhin had said in one of his speeches that he needs to have secure flanks. That if Russian army won't secure his flanks, Ukrainians will launch attack and deblockade Bakhmut. 2 months after, we see this action happen. We don't know whether this deblocation will be successful. The Battle of Bakhmut is not yet lost, as some pro-Ukrainian sources are claiming. In my last video, I was optimistic about Russian defense lines here to the north and to the south of Bakhmut, but after studying deeper, my optimism was changed to pure pessimism, and I will explain where I'm coming from. These positions right here, according to some sources, were held by LPR forces, so basically infantry, without any capabilities of fighting against armor. More than that, they were mobilized. Those are not professional soldiers. And flanks here to the south of Bakhmut was covered by 72nd Motorized Brigade. From reports that I've read, it would seem that this brigade was battered severely and in reality had about a battalion worth of soldiers, so about 600 men. These 600 men were heavily under-equipped and lacked any anti-tank weaponry. If you remember, Shoigu hates Prigozhin. despise even. So my theory is that it is time for Prigozhin to leave the stage. He played his role, but now he's becoming way too inconvenient. As crazy as it sounds, there's a small percentage that Ministry of Defense had purposely weakened Russian flanks to undermine success of Wagnerites in Bakhmut, destroy their reputation, and throw Prigozhin from his high horse into a mud. Now, please note that Bakhmut itself was mostly captured by Wagnerites. They were fighting here for a long time, and only recently they were joined by official Russian army. So technically, whatever losses Wagnerites had sustained while capturing Bakhmut did not affect Russian army itself. Maybe this is a personal war against Prigozhin. I hope not, but it sure sounds. Anyway, go in the comment section and tell me what you think about it, if I'm right or wrong, or maybe you have another option why this is happening. So, this is the end of the video. If you liked it, as always, humanity calls me to condemn all violence against human beings. Have a good day, and always remember, Russia will be free.